I saw you that day we came to Tennessee to take your daughter, and their daughter, back. The Fitzpatricks carried the child out to the rental car and placed her like a bundled heirloom in my arms. She was half asleep and fragrant from her nap, and she yawned and cuddled right against my chest as if she had always been there. Tom and Meredith went back inside to gather the rest of her things, and that's when you crossed the yard and looked at the car, and it seemed that you were looking right at me. I could feel your eyes boring through the tinted glass and seeing the woman who had abandoned you holding tight to your child. I wanted to go to you. I hope you know this. I wanted to ask your forgiveness, but I was still too afraid. I could barely recognize you beneath your plain clothes, and I could see in your bearing that you were stronger than before. What if you hated me? You had every right. It was better not to know. So I remained silent. I remained a coward. I locked the doors and kissed the child's warm forehead. I pressed my back against the seat and breathed. I watched you walk up those porch steps like a lamb to the slaughter. Inside the house, I knew you would learn that you would never see your daughter again. Part 1. Chapter 1. Beth, 1995. 9 minutes after the chapel bells heralded the first academic session, Dr. Thomas Fitzpatrick came into the department. His glasses were snow-spotted and the toggles of his pea coat off by one. Keeping my fingertips on the keyboard, I watched him walk the length of carpet down to his office. Then I looked at the computer screen. Winslow, Beth, 1995, it read. Solomon's Choice. Finding an Ethical Solution for Remorseful Surrogates. Master's Thesis, Sims University. My heart beat double time with the computer cursor's pulse. From the cabinet, I took Tom's favorite cup and saucer, poured water from the kettle on the hot plate, dolloped the PG tips with cream, and carried it down the hall. I pushed the door open farther and stood in the entrance, waiting. Located near the radiator, Tom's office was humid. It smelled of thawing wool and frostbitten winter. Gold-embossed collector's editions from Gray's well-known Anatomy of the Human Body to the rare A Discourse Upon Some Late Improvements of the Means for Preserving the Health of Mariners were stacked in teetering heaps throughout the room. From experience, I knew they were organized in a labyrinth only Tom could traverse. Wall-to-wall shelves were bookended with souvenirs from Meredith's and his trips overseas, an urn filled with pottery shards gathered from shores whose waters harbored a flooded Grecian city, a child-sized drum, its top stretched taut with buckskin, an aboriginal mask whose mouth gaped into a yawn. Despite these variegated treasures, the books were the only things Tom was particular about, the only things he did not want touched. Tom had shed his coat. Beneath it, he wore the tweed blazer with the stamped brown buttons and worn leather patches on the elbows that always made him too hot during his animated lectures. His yellow scarf hung from the back of his swivel chair and coiled up on the floor. A cup and saucer with cream skimming the surface of yesterday's tea sat like a paperweight on the notes scattered across his desk. Tom's desk, the roll-top slid back, was centered beneath a rectangle window that was flush with the ground outside the basement offices, and whose ledge was piled almost to the top with snow. This allowed just enough natural light to reveal the floating dust that permeated the air in the ancient brick building. Dr. Fitzpatrick? Tom's head came up. His fountain pen paused on a note that, even after a year as his graduate assistant, I still could not decipher. Swiveling his chair to face me, he blinked, his great mind awakening from some cerebral dream. "Hello, Miss Beth," he said. His British accent was distinct, even after 20 years in the States.